Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kora Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, it looks like we're going to be continuing on with the momentum we carried in the first week of the 5.5-year anniversary event, this time with the introduction of yet another successor of the iconic Trump Card series from the days of Medarot 3. Last week, we saw the introduction of King Landio, the ultimate now stalwart castle wall and defender of the Trump King series. This week, we see the introduction of another big model in that series, this time a successor to the iconic Jackal from Medarot 3. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the gacha banners and who to expect in the second half of the 5.5-year of the year anniversary. Now, this week in particular, it's going to be fairly light as far as content is concerned. Nothing really overly to note or mention really heavily aside from the big highlights. But the first of which is, of course, the new successor to Jackal, which is TJK01, Jack Arcis, with a kit of Power Napalm, Beam Vulcan, Break Vulcan, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of Assault. Now, Jack Arcis can also, much like the original Jackal, transform into a proper sword-like form and exchange the kit out entirely for Leg Killer, Shoot Bash, Fight Bash, Float Legs, and Defense Plus. Now, at first glance, you might take one look at this and say, well, what's so different between this one and Jackal, since they both do basically the same thing? And you're right. You're along the right track. The difference is Jack Arcis seems to put a little more emphasis on being frontally aggressive, whereas a lot of Jackal's emphasis is that of a very role-confused, identity-confused sword that behaves more like a shield. Don't ask me what the joke is. It's been a running gag of his for like 25 years. But it looks like Jack Arcis definitely picks up where Jackal left off with a lot of very powerful skills, and two brand new ones, no less. Basically, Beam Vulcan and Break Vulcan are essentially just the same effects of Beam and Break, but with scatter effects now to really change up the game. Now, normally, a lot of things, especially with Beam not having piercing or AoE or anything of the kind, this is going to be a very big upgrade for that particular part. It still keeps the damage modifiers, and Break Vulcan, more or less, just to explain it simpler, is basically Break Claw, but as a shooting skill. So nothing really to mention there. But having Shoot Bash and Fight Bash in the same kit as a meta change type model is definitely going to make this model extremely crafty and very hard to track while he's on the field, as long as he's playing a defensive role. Now, alongside Jack Arcis, we also have two other reruns that are going live as boosted rates following up behind him, and that is, of course, KLN01 Unitress C, the crafty mode variant, with a kit of Heater PC, Rifle C, Gatling C, Biped Legs, and Supporter. Also, Unitress C can meta change into the crafty mode variant that was seen in the anime for Damashi, with a kit of Medarot, Power Napalm, Giga Gatling, Multi-Legs, and Assault. We also have the introduction of STG01 Excise C, with Shoot, Trap C, Claw C, Hammer C, Biped Legs, and Trapper. Now, Excise C can also transform into an alternative mode, the crafty mode variant that was also present in the anime, with a kit of Meta Break, Sujigiri, Punishment, Multi-Legs, and Bloodstain. So ultimately, we have a lot of very powerful models that are going live this week as well. Much like it was last week, with King Landio rerunning both the crafty mode variants of Saikachi's and Orcus. But much like last week, as well as a fair warning, all 3 models that are boosted raids this week, that includes Jack Arcis and both the crafty mode tigers here, they are meta change models, which means you will either get the entire set all at once or none at all. So consider that a forewarning leading into this week's stuff as we continue forward, but it's still going to be very exciting to see just what lies ahead in the coming weeks as we round up the end of July into early August. Now, for the Fierce Battles this week, it's going to be a very diverse array of skills with a lot of very powerful and very useful stuff, especially if you're a newcomer or a newbie that's been in the game not too terribly long and still looking to amass a collection of parts. Starting us up on this top row is Pt.2 Yellow Turtle with Heater, Double Laser, Tank Legs, and Bullet Rain. GMN0 Gemini with Optic Guard, Wave, Hold, Wheeled Legs, and Adapter, and JOK0 Shootboard with Heater, Beam, Power Rifle, Biped Legs, and Aim. On the bottom row, we have MDR0 Don Drill with Virus, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and Rumbling. KAB0 Grade Kabuki with Triple Virus, Wheeled Legs, and Charm, and HNM0 Hanu Monkey with Shoot Trap, Heater, Hammer, Biped Legs, and All-Rounder. So like I said, very diverse array of skills available this week, and you really can't go wrong with picking any one of them as something worth farming. Primarily, Shootboard's going to be a really big one, mostly because of the free power rifle that you can farm very early on, especially with that damage modifier now being notably safer to use than it was in early game when Shootboard first dropped. Additionally, Gemini is also really good too because of the Wheeled Legs and Adapter. So if you find yourself struggling on particular terrains and can't really match them up, this is honestly going to be a very good fallback part that you can use very easily and very conventionally once you can get up to a certain rank. Everyone else as well, Yellow Turtle with Tank Legs and Bullet Rain for your shoot nukers, Don Drill for your rumbling for your melee fighters, Grade Kabuki for your turn skipping, and even Hanu Monkey if you just kind of need an all-around support auxiliary unit to have on any team that they're on. Now, additionally, much like it was last week with King Landia, we also have a new Super Invasion that's going live for Jack Arcis, but we also have another special limited time Super Invasion that's going live for a 5.5-year anniversary featuring all 4 of the original Trump cards. So, First Ace, Gan King, May Queen, and Jackal will be taking place here as a special guest. No real telling what the rules of that one is going to be, so I really can't give any idea one way or another, but I expect it's definitely going to be a fight for the age. Celebrate 5.5 years that Meta S has been kicking, bringing in new models, and even bringing back older ones as well. So it's been very exciting all the same, and I'm very interested to see what's going to be coming in through the start of August, through this week, to kind of keep things on, or even continue the momentum with a 5.5-year anniversary. Now, for the event itself for Wave 2, it is going to continue the second half of the Meta Wheel of Fortune with the blue tickets this week. So it will be a ticket-based event, obviously. Bonuses will stack per part equipped, but this week we have the opportunity to earn 2 new medals and some extra rewards for extra resources that are normally hard to obtain. Those rewards in particular are the Sword Medal, which is a speed nature medal with a mastery in melee, shooting, and defense, and leg masteries in floating, wield, and flight, so a perfect best in slot, either for Jackal or Jack Arcis, based on who you choose to use. And we can also earn the Mace Medal, which has a mastery in melee, healing, and defense, and leg masteries in biped, float, and sea. And as an assist nature medal, that means this is going to be very solid on a lot of your auxiliary support and healers, or even defenders to a point too, based on how you choose to use it. You can also earn emeralds that we use to redeem for limited skins in the skin shop at the convenience store, alongside a handful of other really big rewards as well that are going live over the course of this next week, and even harder to earn resources. But as we continue on with the rest of the news, it is fairly light this week, but, wait, hold on. What? Oh no. Not this one. Yep, that's right, folks. God Emperor is officially joining Meta Survivor and gracing the battlefield with a very diverse and extremely powerful array of skills as a callback to Medarot 2. God Emperor in particular will be having a very heavy emphasis on cooldown, skill cooldown, and attack range, and its master skill actually supercharges that extremely powerful laser that you saw in the trailer. Additionally, we also have another callback from Medarot 2, Primary Baby, who's also going live in Meta Survivor this week as well, with a very heavy emphasis on HP restore and damage plus upon level up to a certain cap. So nothing really new per se as far as what Primary Baby brings to the table, but a very solid skill set that it does bring as well. It's a fairly user-friendly type of model. But if you're looking for DPS, it is kind of obvious you really don't have to look much farther than God Emperor. So very excited to see both of those. Aside from other Meta Survivor news that was announced, there really wasn't anything worth mentioning or putting in a slide. Mostly a lot of quality of life and game balances that are going live. More information on special paid bundles that give you basically a UR of choice, and of course a special anniversary banner that lets you choose over the duration of the event that the banner is live what your what account 100 pity model will be. So it's very exciting to see a lot of changes on that, as well as Meta Survivor is still continuing on and chugging pretty solidly despite its rather shaky reveal and initial release. So very excited for that and continuing to see all the different new models that are going live. I love seeing all the chibi art for them as well. That honestly is adorable. So call me biased, but I honestly just love seeing all this extra art and the extra chibis they use. I could just collect those and make good use of them today. But continuing onward, continuing on to community-based stuff, as always, we are continually looking for translators to assist us with any of our current projects or endeavors. Right now, with the very big push being towards Medarot 4 and any of the manga projects, we would love to try to get some help with that. So if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese and have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that might be, feel free to ask around or even reach out to me personally and ask about it. We can most certainly get you in the right direction to talk with the right people. Furthermore, if you do not have any talent to offer, or if you don't know somebody that would be willing to help, we also have a link to various crowdfunding in the comments below as well that you could donate to, and we can commission to have some of those extra lines of text translated. Because the more of that stuff that's been done, the legwork is already put together, and all we have to do is simply just typeset and click. So less work means we can get the patch out sooner, and we can finally unearth the final chapter of the Icky saga that has been always so iconic here in the West. So again, feel free to reach out, join the Discord, ask me personally, and we can get you in touch with the right people. But continuing on outside of that, to your old pal Kura here, he is going to be fairly busy over the course of this week as well. I will be picking up some more streams over the next couple weeks or so after a brief. I'm not going to say hiatus per se, but just haven't had the chance to schedule them. But I will be hosting an Ori Meta drawing stream tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern Time on the 30th of July. I will be drawing the first of the Project Rising Beetle Summer Ori Meta contest winners. Coil Cat is on the docket for tonight, so I'm very excited to have you guys with us, with me tomorrow night as well, to chill out and hang out with me as I work on that. So proud of the winners, and I'm so excited to be able to start working on those. Hoping to have Soul Train's art streams up sometime in the next week or so. If not sooner, I will have to see just what the schedule looks like going into that next week. Additionally, going into the weekend on August 1st, I will be guesting on a new friend's channel, Bonnie Brushstroke. I will be part of a Golf with Your Friends collaboration with a handful of other guests on their channel, so I'm very excited for that. I will not be streaming my side, but if you do tune into Bonnie's channel as well, specifically at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, on the 1st of August, we would love to have you. Tell them that your old pal Kura sent you their way, and they are more than happy to appreciate and have fun with us. So I'm very excited for that and guesting on a friend's channel, and I'm hoping to have all of you with us as well. One final note before I do wrap us up, as a friendly reminder, I am always open for art commissions as well. So if you are looking for a live 2D VTuber model ready to rig, 3D models with the work, standard art, or emote bundles, I am more than happy to work with you on that. So feel free to reach out to me on Discord, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever your social media of choice is. We can most certainly try to make something happen. I will do just about anything as you see here, minus, of course, my two caveats on NSFW and Gore. So simple rules to adhere by and acknowledge, but I am happy to do just about anything and try to make it happen with you. But that does basically cover everything for this week's episode. So, like I said, it's a fairly light week as far as new stuff is concerned. Of course, Jack Arcis is definitely going to be shaking up a lot of stuff as a more forwardly aggressive of the big three defenders that Jackal has very strongly maintained and defended a title of, pun intended. But I'm very excited to see how he performs officially on the field. But with that being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community that is nearly cresting 50,000 members and still growing by the day. I'm so excited with the growth of that community, and I'm so proud of it. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. And, like I said, you can also reach out to me personally on Twitter, Discord, or Blue Sky at Isagamikura. I leave my DMs open on purpose for that very reason, so I am always happy to have a conversation. So don't be a stranger, drop on in and say hello. That especially applies if you are looking for an art commission or if you'd like to collaborate with me, which is having you here on the MNN as a guest host, or me possibly stopping in on your channel for a friendly game or a chat. But that being said, do also follow this Bonnie Busstroke as well at Bonnie C Draws, and the official Medarot page as well for big news there as well at Medarotcha. I do want to give my support to Bonnie Busstroke as a thank you for including me in that collaboration. I am very, very excited to have it, and I'm looking forward to this coming Friday at time of recording to have some fun playing a very chaotic game of golf with your friends. But with that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.